Hello and welcome to the Penno channel on this Christmas Eve for the match preview from Manchester United versus Aston Villa at Old Trafford on Boxing Day. Before we get started, if you could like the stream, if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel as well. Trying to push up, get to 500 subscribers. So if you can do that, it'd be much appreciated. I'm joined by my bro on this Christmas Eve. Santa hasn't come yet. I've got my drink here. Let's discuss what's going to happen on Boxing Day. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm all good. Just got finished wrapping some presents and just ready to talk about Villa and this game that we got Boxing Day, man. It's going to be a massive game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, facts. Quick message in here from Michael. He says, Happy Christmas all. We are in third spot. Sorry, can't join you live, but let's go again for the rest of the season at the Villa. Merry Christmas to you, Michael. Hope you have a fantastic day tomorrow. And yeah, let's look forward to that Boxing Day game for sure. Right then, bro. Also, we've got in here Charlie. Hello, boys. Hello, Charlie. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Big up, Charlie.
Let's get talking then, because we're facing a Manchester United side that are in a big trouble right now, and the manager Ten Hag, who could be fighting for his job, especially if we get a result at Old Trafford on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's just mad seeing where United are this season. I mean, they're 8th at the moment. They've won 9, drawn 1, lost 8. They've scored less goals than they've conceded, which is just insane. They give up loads of chances. And it's just mad, isn't it?
-5 goal difference. -5 goal difference. They've not scored in their last 4 games. I couldn't believe that when I saw it. Yeah, mad. So what are you thinking?
I just hope we win. I just hope we're not the team that they start suddenly just scoring against. Their fans have had some good news today. Their 25% stake looks to be all but done, and their Radcliffe will take over with the sporting operation, so their fans probably will be happy about that. It's a bit annoying that comes right before our game. That might give them like some motivation to start improving. But yeah, I just hope we can get the win. I think we're playing them at a good time. As you said, they're out of form. And if we play how we know we can play, I think we can get the 3 points. I think we can create chances. So I'm slightly apprehensive, but I'm looking forward to the game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And there is no better time to play Manchester United in the form they're currently in. I know they'll might get a boost from the 25% stake from Jim Radcliffe and his company. But some players might see that as a new dawn, that they're going to be surplus to requirements and, may feel like it's coming to an end, their time at Manchester United. And then hopefully they take that attitude into the game where they don't really care as much. Also, Ten Hag, he really is fighting for his job, I feel. This is a huge game for them as well. And we just need to impose ourselves. If we can get the crowd to turn at Old Trafford, we'll win the game. That's how I feel it will go. It's just about imposing ourselves from early and hopefully getting that early goal, because, once we get an early goal, we don't drop points.
Yeah.
So that will be huge, a huge thing to do there. And even if we don't, just get back into the game as soon as possible. Because I think if we get any sort of goal and it's within 1 or we go ahead, I think we can win the game for sure.
It's just mad, isn't it? Because if you're like a real Villa fan, you don't like Manchester United, and this is always a big game for us. Probably a bigger rivalry for us more than them. I don't know, man. If you're just growing up, you're just watching United. There's been some heartbreak along the way, and it's always good to beat them. So you are always that bit nervous against United. Like, they can win games just randomly, but I do think we have the better side. I do think we have the better manager. And yeah, I'm quietly confident, but I would like to hope that we'll have like our best players back. Like, I hope Pau Torres is back. I think he was a massive miss on Friday against Sheffield United. Yeah, I'll be a lot more confident if Emery does say that he's back. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's as you said, it's a good time to play United, and if we can beat United, that would help me get over this Sheffield United game easily.
Yeah, for sure. And to be fair to us, our form, when we've had a setback, if you could call it that, we seem to bounce back the next game by getting 3 points. So let's just hope it's the same thing again. We go to Old Trafford with nothing to fear whatsoever. Statistically, the table over the past year, we're the better side. So we just need to act like the better side at the ground and not go into our shell at all. which I'm sure Emery will be telling them the same thing as well. So going from us, the result on Friday, disappointing. I think the performance was just lacking a bit of effort and energy, which you spoke about on the evening. Bit more slicker passing. Sheffield United sat really deep, and we did struggle to break them down, even though we had a few chances. Excluding the VAR stuff and all the decisions and that, we didn't play to our best at all. You could say that in the past, Arsenal, Brentford, Mostar, and Sheffield United, we haven't played to our best in those 4 games. Do you see that as a worrying sign at all, or do you think it's just maybe we're tired, we've had a lot of games, players have been coming in and out at the minute, we haven't really got a settled lineup. How do you feel that is, and the reason possibly why our performances that have just dipped a little bit?
Yeah, I think you're correct about the settled lineup thing. I mean, Luiz and Kamara haven't played together since Man City, so
Which is mad.
our midfield's so important. So when you don't have that kind of rhythm, I don't know, it's just a bit annoying. And then not having Pau Torres against Sheffield United, as I said, it's just a massive loss. Like, he's so instrumental into our build-up play, getting those passes between the lines and helping us attack better. So yeah, performances have kind of gone off a little bit, but we've also not lost, which is mad, which and important too if we want to secure top 4. So yeah, I want the 3 points against United, but it would be nice to have a performance that matches as well. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it would be really nice to get a win and get the performance as well, because it just really gets us back on track then. Just having a dominating performance. Obviously, I'd take the points. I couldn't care less how the points go, but to have the performance as well would be just extra special. And just say, like, okay, Sheffield United happened, but we're still this guy, we're still these guys, we're still this team, we're still flying. And it's a huge statement. Going on to the side, have you heard anything regarding players coming back? Any news on the Pau injury? I think Tielemans was 2 weeks, but they didn't specify 2 weeks from when, whether it was 2 weeks from him missing or 2 weeks from Friday or Thursday when the press conference was for
that
the
was
Sheffield United game.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. So they didn't specify when it was 2 weeks from. So I assume it's from Thursday, and Yuri's not back in training as of yet. There was no real detail on the Pau Torres situation. We hope it was just a small knock and he was missing, but it is a very quick turnaround of games. And I would be surprised if he's back, to be honest. I would.
I think Emery did say he hoped that he'd be back for United, but that's not really like anything conclusive or anything. Like, you'd want Emery to say he'll be back for United, he'll be fine, but it was more he's not sure kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if those 2 are missing, and it's a similar squad to what we had available for Sheffield United, how would you like to see us set up? Because I can imagine if we're going to United's team, they'll play that 4-3-3. They'll probably go for, I think Dallow's back from suspension now, so it'll be Dallow. Varane was ill against West Ham.
Yeah.
If he's back, it'll probably be Varane, Johnny Evans, and Luke Shaw. And then their midfield 3 will be interesting. Does Kobe Mino stay in the team, or will they bring in Amrabat alongside McTominay and Bruno Fernandes? And then the front line, I mean, I don't even know what will settle. If he started with Højlund, Garnacho, and Anthony on either side, but you've got Marcus Rashford, you've got Pellistri.
Yeah. Seems like Rashford's been dropped.
Yeah, he has. He does indeed. Yeah, and I think also Martial's back. I think he was just had a bout of illness as well. So yeah, I think they'll line up that way. I remember last year we didn't really play again to our strengths, and we weren't great, but we hadn't really adopted this style of play that we do have now, which you kind of ingrained into us.
We had that Moreno chance in the first half where he found himself in the box and got a shot off, but in terms of our overall play, like the high line wasn't correct as well. We still had players dropping deep for their goal. They like managed to stay on side. I think it will be a different Villa this time. I think it will be a more composed, experienced Aston Villa. But the thing about United is they can always just find a way. I mean, we saw what they did to Chelsea the other week where they absolutely battered them. So I hope it's another off day for them. I hope we can get the 3 points, but we have to be on our best game. I feel we have to get that early goal and we have to control the game properly because Bruno Hoyland, I know he hasn't scored in ages, but he's still a threat. If Rashford starts as well, he's a threat as well. So
Yeah, I think Bruno's most goals, the team Bruno scored the most against in the league is Villa.
Is it Villa?
Yeah, it's Villa. I think it's 7.
That's because
I think his goals or it's GA. It's with one of the most for him. Like I think we were for Lampard and Gerrard as well.
You got to think about Bruno's goal. Like he scammed a penalty against us in lockdown season. He had that random bullshit shot where he just shot at Martinez, and Martinez just parried it into his net. Like
got the brace at home when the 2-2.
And then it could have been more if he didn't like hit that penalty like over the stadium. So
yeah. So to counteract that, and how do you think we set up, or do we not even consider how they play and it's more let us take ownership of the game?
Yeah,
I think will be.
I think you have to prioritize Villa first. I think it will be Martinez. I think Moreno starts now after not starting against Sheffield United, which I thought he should have. And I feel like we missed his profile so much. I mean, he was only on the pitch for like 20 minutes and he managed to get like a big chance with a header. So yeah, hopefully Moreno starts. I think we go Pau if he's fit, if not Lenglet again. Yeah. And I think Carlos comes into the starting 11 with Konza at right back.
With Carlos, did he have a niggle? Why he wasn't starting? Was that a rumour, or was he actually just taken out the side?
I'm not sure.
I think I heard that he wasn't 100% for Friday, and that's why he wasn't starting. But yeah, I think if he was there in the squad, I think he comes in on Tuesday. So going into the midfield, how do you see us setting up?
Yeah, I'd play the same front six as that started against Sheffield United.
Same.
Yeah, I'll play Ramsey.
Because there's a few options. There's potential for Dendoncker to come in and McGinn go out to the wing and Diaby go to the bench. There's also potential for Zaniolo to come in as well.
I think the thing about United is, they're going to play their football. They're not really going to set up like Sheffield United and try and hold on and be defensive. So I think Diaby might get some joy on transition.
Yeah.
So that's more my thinking about starting the same six. So the same six will be Ramsey, McGinn and Louise. Even though McGinn is better further forward, I don't think him playing further forward is enough to warrant Dendoncker starting, if that makes sense. Yeah. I still think I'd want Bailey, Diaby, Watkins, Ramsey, McGinn, Louise in the same side.
The only thing I worry about with that is United will play compacting the three in the middle, especially if Amrabat and McTominay and Bruno are playing.
Yeah.
And I feel like coming inside from the right wing, McGinn's better at to make a free. If we want to go into like a 4-3-3 shape to match him. So whereas if it's Bailey or Diaby on the wing, it's a bit more difficult. It just remains the two. So I feel like there's a potential for McGinn to actually play off the right and come in as a free, as well as going out wide as well.
What would your team be that you'd want to see?
I think he benches Diaby.
Okay.
I think he benches Diaby and he goes Ramsey, Louise, Dendoncker, McGinn, and then Watkins and Bailey up front.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Just so because I think they'll overload the middle of the park, and I don't know, McGinn. There's a few times on Friday I just don't think McGinn in the centre that's not him anymore. As he's situated in that position, receiving the ball.
Yeah, he struggles trying to play like that tempo setting role from deep. Like he's better when he's further forward. A player tries to press him, he'll use his body to get past, and then we're in with a big chance. So when he was receiving deeper, I mean, the ball was getting stuck under his feet a little bit, and he was finding it hard to get into the rhythm of what's needed from that role and what Kamal excels at. So I definitely understand your angle.
But then also as well, I know Takashi suspended for this one as he picked up his 5th yellow card. But as we've seen from Emery, he likes sometimes to operate with the 3-5-2. Can you see potentially Bailey or operating as a wing back in the system with Konza coming across? If Bailey were, my question is, do you think he'd start Bailey on the wing or Diaby? Because I think we'd shape into the 3-5-2.
Oh yeah, that's what I think will happen. I think the back three will be Pau if fit, if not Lenglet, Carlos Conza with Moreno and Bailey as our wing backs.
Yeah, yeah. So you'd think Bailey would operate as a wing back, and you trust that.
Yeah, and then while DRB and Bailey would alternate like they did, I guess, in the Sheffield United game, we saw DRB coming out wide and Bailey being the striker further on into the game when he was switched early on. So
Yeah,
I
it's
just
just
think put your
Sheffield
best
United. I think we were pushed high. We were higher up the pitch, so
yeah.
Bailey was never playing as a wing back. He was playing as a winger, same as Bailey, vice versa. When they switched, I think we'll be more likely to see it as a 3 and a 5 rather than a 4-4-2. Even though we moved the
Yeah,
shape, so it'd
facts.
be a 3 and a 5 going into or the 4. And if McGinn's out there, then I can see it going into a 4-3-3 with then Ramsey pushing further forward, allowing Moreno to overlap as well. So it'd be interesting how we do set up.
I think it's a
that part.
big game for DRB because against Sheffield United, a lot of the times the ball was coming into his feet. He has to work to beat his man 1v1. It's not really his game. But United aren't really going to play like that. I know Ten Hag will be going for the win with his job security in mind. So I think there will be spaces in behind. And DRB thrives at that kind of stuff. Play the ball in front of him, play the ball over the top for him to run onto. And first time finishes in the box so he doesn't have to think too much. So
yeah, we have to attack their back line.
Yeah, facts. I mean,
we have to
Johnny Evans, we know he's not probably up to the standard for starting off for Manchester United. Varane, we know is if he's recovered from his illness, that'll be interesting to see. And then midfield as well. It'll be interesting to see McTominay start because I know a lot of United fans aren't happy with McTominay, like they don't rate him at all. So will Ten Hag like persist with starting McTominay and Bruno in midfield, or will he drop him? I think that'll be like quite interesting to see how they shape up as well.
The one thing that interests me with Villa is we rarely seem to alternate our press. Now I feel like this United side is primed to be pressed. Do you think we'll change that for this game, or do you still think we'll allow the centre backs to come forward and then operate on the trigger of like it going into centre midfield? Do you know where we kind of back off a bit?
Yeah,
we play high, but we back off the press. Yeah, we let them play out with the back. Can you see it changing against United? Because I feel like if you get at them on the press, they find it very difficult to play out.
Who would you have in the front two trying to press on?
Because sometimes I know when we initiate, we have Dougie coming to the front. So we have the front two, and maybe Diaby's a bit wider, and then Dougie comes up as well. But it's just that I feel like if we can press them hot, instead of allowing them to come out or allowing Anana to come out with the ball, if you press Man United high, I think they bottle it.
Yeah.
But I rarely see Villa try that. That's not really a tactic Emery employs. He likes to wait and play high, play in that space of the 11 men with 10 to 20 yards, if that, in between the striker and the centre back. So yeah, that will be interesting for sure if we let them play out, because I know their game plan is going to be similar to what we face against most teams. It's going to be play over the top and try and catch us from the line. That's what they're going to use.
They have their runners with Garnacho. Garnacho had some joy against West Ham. He just kind of messed up the decision making in the final moment. But he was getting in behind him. He was finding space. Højlund. I've spoken about Højlund again. I know there's a lot of dialogue about him not scoring. Yeah, but we have to remember he's a Champions League top scorer. He's going to be a threat. I know he's young, he's raw, but we have to make sure we're on our A game to not make sure he scores. So it's weird, isn't it? Because United away, you almost think difficult game over the years, but I do feel a bit confident that we are the better side. But the problem with United is they can score whenever, and they can pull out performances when you'd least expect it. And with them not scoring in the last 4 games, you'd anticipate they'll probably end up scoring.
Probability, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So just can we just play our game, and can we get an early goal, and can we just just see it out and hit them on transition? We have the players. We know how good Aston Villa can play. We know how good we're coached by Emery. I just think it's a really important game, especially coming off the draw against Sheffield United. Can we bounce back and just find a way to win? Because out of Arsenal, Brentford, Sheffield United, and United, if you said 10 points, you'd take it 100%. You know what I mean? So
ridiculous.
It's in the last,
yeah, exactly, and yeah, that's the thing. It's such a difficult game because to like for Unai to set us up, because if we can go there and try and control the game. But I think playing that plays into their strengths on transition if we make a mistake. But when I've seen any team sit back against United and break on them, they've had so much joy,
Yeah,
like so much joy. And it's like, do we refrain from being that team who keeps the ball, has high percentage possession to get the result? But or can we do that anymore? Can we do that anymore? That's not our game now? Do you know what I mean? Are we that
yeah.
side now that we have to have 50+% possession? That's what's interesting to me, because I think the best way to get at United is to let them have the ball. So
Well,
yeah,
yeah, because I just think as well, if we can manage to manipulate the fan crowd on this, because we know United fans are going to be on their back a little bit if they don't start well. Let me just look at United's results. I mean, bro, they've got 1 point out of their last 4 games. I mean, they've lost to West Ham, Bayern, Bournemouth at home as well. They lost to Newcastle away before that, outside of the Chelsea win. I mean, they're not in good form. If we can just get that early goal and play how we know we can play, I'm confident we can win. But it just depends on Villa and what Villa turns off.
yeah, facts. It is. So many puzzles for Emery to work out in this one, and he has so many different shapes because there's players missing as well that he can set up in, and so many different options he can bring into the side. So it's going to be so interesting, man.
It'll be a
Yeah,
big
I'm
game
looking
for
forward to
Jacob
it.
Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey
Yeah.
is going to get so much space to run into and carry the ball in Old Trafford, and we're going to need him to help us get on the pitch. So
Even
teams like that, teams that sit back,
Ole.
Ramsey, you can't really like break through them. You know what I mean? Because his game's on
Yeah,
carrying and that kind of things. But if United are attacking us and trying to go for the 3 points, Ramsey's going to find so much space to be able to just carry that ball. So big game for Ramsey.
facts. Especially with Dallo, how high Dallo pushes as well
Yeah,
on that side. There'll be a lot of space, for sure. Yeah, interesting game. Can't wait at all for that one. Predictions? What are you going for?
1-0 Villa.
1-0.
1-0 Villa. Yeah.
I'm
1-0.
gonna go 2-1 Villa. 2-1.
Who's the
Uh,
scorer?
I'm gonna go Watkins because he's flying away from home at the minute, and I'm gonna go with a Douglas Luiz penalty. What about yourself? What are you thinking?
Ramsey. I'm giving Ramsey. Ramsey's.
Ramsey goal.
Yeah. I'm giving Ramsey the goal.
He has a decent record against United, doesn't he? I think he's scored a few against United.
Yeah, he scored. Well, he scored in the home game, didn't he?
Well, he scored in both. He scored in the Coutinho one, and he scored in the other one. Went to 3-1 last year.
He got an assist as well in that Coutinho one.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. A few comments. Will Ford, cheers, Will. Thanks for joining us. He goes, apologies for joining late. Merry Christmas to you both, all watching. Up the Villa, here's to a good start in the new year. Merry Christmas, Will. Thanks for joining us. Simon A as well. Merry Christmas, a happy new year. Merry Christmas to you, Simon. Will says the middle of the park is going to be crucial, in my opinion. Win that battle and press them hard, and we'll get some joy. So I think the press is going to be so interesting and how we adopt it.
How do you feel? How do you feel not having Kamara tomorrow or Boxing Day?
I mean, it's a big miss when Kamara's not playing. You see from the 2 games he's missed, we've drawn them. We've not won. So
yeah, that's a good point.
It's going to be a big miss. But we have to adapt. Teams miss players, so we have to adapt. And we got a result against Brentford with arguably our best player not playing, so we can do this. We can definitely do this. Simon's gone for 2-1 as well. Yeah, interesting. Cannot wait. Hopefully not hanging too much after Christmas for sure to be back on it at that point.
Well, the game's 8 PM. That's enough time to recover, isn't it?
Yeah, that's facts. It gives you enough time to get back on it. Any more things, bro?
How do you feel with Liverpool and Arsenal drawing? The fact that we could have been top of the league have we got the points? Does it bother you that much? Do you really care about being top of the league at Christmas? Is it an arbitrary thing, or was it a big chance missed?
I was more disappointed at the time after the game just to not go top for that night than being top at Christmas. I wasn't. That wasn't the big thing. I just wanted to be top once and
Yeah.
just experience, even if it was just for that night. Having
Yeah.
seen the drew now, that doesn't add any greater to it for me. It was just that I wanted to see us go top at some point. We did go top for all of 3 minutes before the goal got disallowed.
Still don't
But
understand.
yeah,
Still don't understand it. Looking back, watching the game back, I still don't
yeah,
understand.
it's the handball for me. And what's funny is watching the game back on Sky, Carragher initially said it wasn't a penalty, and then he came out after the Liverpool game yesterday saying there was 2 Stonewall penalties over the weekend for handball. So he's changed his tune, and Gary Neville also is saying it's been a Stonewall penalty. So yeah, just one of those things, man. I don't really like blaming the decisions and that and officials, because we have our fair share for sure throughout the season, and it is just swings and roundabouts. It happened to be all of them landed in one game. So yeah, Charlie's got a quote. He says, "I think it's just time again to show some character if we really want to be in this race. These are the games of ruthless when a side is in a bad spell. Facts for sure." Simon goes, "The Prem is corrupt." Oh, there will be somewhere. That is for sure. But I just decisions of ours. I see every team suffer. I mean, you see the Willy Bolly one, the refereeing for that, the red card at the weekend. It
And the
reminded
Odegaard
me,
handball.
yeah, the Odegaard handball, the being corrupt against. You'd say they're being corrupt against Liverpool, yet Arsenal would claim that they were being corrupt against us like a week before. So I think decisions just happen for everyone. It's just at different times people feel like it's against their side.
Yeah.
Regarding the Willy Bolly one, that reminded me of Tyrone when Arsenal won 1-0 at Villa Park. Saka, that deflected goal, I think it was. That challenge reminded me of that, when Mings
It's not a
quite
red card.
clearly won the ball, and then Saka comes in a second later, and because his leg's already going, and he kind of goes over the top. And I remember Mings got booked, and it was just a ridiculous booking at the time. But to get a second yellow, that was just an absolute shocker. Absolute shocker. And Nuno and especially Nuno for his first game feel hugely aggrieved with that decision. Charlie says, "Wonder if the sprinklers will be on at OT tomorrow." Who knows? Who knows if the sprinklers will be on and the roof will be leaking as well. Yeah,
It's mad, and it's United, and it like
but
we've got history with United. We don't like Manchester United. Like any Villa fan doesn't like United over the years, and as bad as they are, there's always that trepidation you have where like they can turn on a performance and they can just show up. But I just hope we can just play our game with a better team. At the moment, I don't think United fans would be mad at us saying that. Like I think they know as well. I think they know they're bad at the moment. So can we just go there and just get the job done and just help me get over the Sheffield United draw?
I mean, from the Courtney Halls winner, we've had some. The FA Cup one, we battered them in. I remember that one.
Yeah, we were there, weren't we?
The Danny Ings Hall, we battered them that one. Last year in the league, it was tight. It was only 1-0. It was kind of a tight affair. You had the 4-2 in the cup where we took the lead twice there in the League Cup.
Yeah, Emery's second game.
Yeah, Emery's second game after we'd just previously beat him at home. We're due another result there, man. We really are, because it's not like we've been dominated there over the past few seasons. They've been fairly close affairs, and
Makeda, that's all I think. Get him back from Makeda. that goal
exactly,
because you know what I mean.
That home one only just got them back for the Van Nistelrooy coming on and 3-2 in the FA Cup. I don't know if you remember that. Probably 2-0. Barry scored and they made it 3-2. You've got the Chicharito one. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, the Chicharito, the 3-2 when the 2-2 when they came back from behind, like.
Yeah.
But who the fuck is Federico Makeda? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that we need to like get them back for, man. All the stuff playing so.
All the years.
Yeah, but Emery broke the hoodoo. He broke the record in his very first game. So I just trust Emery to get the right selection and just hopefully we can put on a show, man. I'm excited, but I'm just a little bit nervous as well.
Yeah. Do you think Ten Hag gets sacked if we win?
If I was Radcliffe coming in, I would not sack Ten Hag. I just admit that the season's over. I'd talk to Ten Hag more about the type of players, like their mentality, their attitude, and I'd wait till the end of the season to make a decision. I think United have sacked managers before with the same squad, and it just hasn't worked out. It's the players, isn't it? So I'll keep it Ten Hag. I'd admit the season's over. They're out of Europe. They're not going to finish top 4 in the league. They might have a good run in the FA Cup, but I wouldn't sack Ten Hag straight away. I think if you sack Ten Hag, then the players will be like, if you ask them after, oh, it's all Ten Hag's fault. There'd be no accountability. I'd rather keep Ten Hag for the period and then see what he says about the players. So that way you have more information as like new investors on what you want to do. I mean, they've been given the reign as the team in charge of the football side of Manchester United.
See, I don't know how that works. I know they've been given that title, but I don't know if they do have the final decision. Do you know what I mean? Because it's only a 25% share of the business. They don't become majority with that 25% share, do they? Because obviously the shares will be split between a number of people. Obviously, Glazers majority, but I don't think they become majority with the 25%. I think it's still the Glazers. So ultimately, I feel like the Glazers will make the final decision, even though they say they're in charge of the football side.
I'll be very surprised if they sacked him, even if they lost to us. Yeah, I'll be very surprised. I'll be surprised, honestly.
Like, you don't know what a reaction they're going to get at Old Trafford if they do, because that could get very toxic, as it has done a number of times over the seasons at Old Trafford since Ferguson's left. Anfield Uncle Rods, big up Rods, he says, Penoma bro, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas to you too, mate, and hope you have a blessed one. Charlie says, Hoyland's record scaring me. Seeing people talking about falling out of school for United in a similar amount of Premier League games before his first game against Villa. Yeah, that's the stat we needed, Charlie, tonight. That's for sure. It is worrying, man. And it's just typical Villa again. As Friday, we said typical Villa sort of thing, which hasn't even been typical for the season or the year, but still not being able to do, the last real thing to get top and all that. Yeah, it's just one of those, man. I don't. We're the better side.
It's just the fact that everyone in the country is going to be watching us again. That's what gets me. Like with the 8 p.m. kickoff, like them ones. Like if no one's watching us for Sheffield, we win like 4-0. Do you know what I mean? Like
you got to remember that everyone was watching us against Arsenal and be Arsenal.
True, very true. It's just hate watching though, isn't it? People are trying to manifest hate on Villa. Like they recognise us as a serious threat. So.
I don't think people will be manifesting hate though, because everyone wants to see United suffer because of their childhood.
Yeah,
the majority of fan bases don't like United.
I just think if we beat United and we go into that game against Burnley at home with a win and like 4 points out of the last 2 games, man, it's like, come on, Villa. Come on, let's just
stay on track.
Let's just not be on the bullshit, man, and let them get like a little goal or get some kind of buzz. Like their season's over, their fans know it as well. Just come on, Villa, just put in the performance we know we can put in.
Who's going to be the key player for us then, for us to get a result?
I think Ramsey, bro. I think Ramsey's carrying ability. United are going to be going gung-ho, trying to get an early goal, trying to get their fans on their side. And there's going to be opportunities where we have space on transition. And Ramsey's perfect for carrying the ball, getting us up the pitch. And he'll just need to make the final decision correctly. I mean, against Brentford, we've seen that he knows how to delay and play the right pass for Moreno, who should have done better in that game. So yeah, Ramsey's the one I'm excited for. I think he'll be the main difference. And Douglas as well. Douglas has to take authority without Kamara there. He needs to be more responsible in breaking play, dictating the tempo.
I'm going to go for Watkins. I think Watkins can bully these. He can bully. If it's Watkins, Brighton A game, Newcastle at home last season, Watkins, he can absolutely bully these.
Yeah.
He just, if we get a Watkins on performance that we know he's capable of, I think he's comfortable.
I mean, he was showing up in the game last season. He was dinking it. Like since when does Watkins dink like little shots on that? So you never know. Like Old Trafford might have him feeling a bit different and acting off a little bit. So
even when we look back at the Brentford game from last week, Watkins played well. He was getting about the pitch. He was holding it up well. He was even doing little tricks and flicks and stuff. He played really well and ended up getting his goal as well, which you might not have seen because of the game state and how we need to get the goals. You might not have clocked it because I didn't at first hand, but when I watched it back, I realised that Watkins really played well against Brentford.
Yeah.
It was a bit. It was strange because for all the ball we had, he was still kind of isolated and not getting chances in good positions against Sheffield United. But as we say, if United want to try and take the game to us a bit more, he should find some space and he should have opportunities to really get at their centre backs. Simon says, "What do you think about Archer scoring?" Yeah, we went over that last time. I'm happy for Archer. It's against us. Obviously, I don't want him to score against us, but I have no gripes with Cameron Archer. I think he's just he's a very, very, very good high level finisher when he's in those positions. His overall game, I'm still not so sure on, but putting the ball in the back of
What
the
do you
net
think
when
he
he's in
lacks
those
in?
positions, I think he's top.
What do you think he lacks in with his overall game? Because I think it's important to talk about it because let's say the buyback clause is true and they get relegated, he comes back. He might be on Villa's books in pre-season again. So what is it about his overall game? You don't really.
I don't think that he's able to get past a centre back, or I think he struggles on the ball. He struggles with that. So unless it's on real transitions, like his goal against Wolves, which was a ridiculous finish, but he was still struggling to get. Balgard nearly got back against him when he was trying to get away from him. When other strikers would have got away and had a clean one-on-one. That's why he had to hit it so early. So I think sometimes he struggles with getting away from defenders or getting past them as such. Physical aspects. If you put the ball into Archer's feet, I think, I won't go 9, but I'll go 7 out of 8 times. I don't think he holds onto the ball, especially if there's a defender right up against him. I think he finds it difficult to hold onto the ball in those areas. But then players are all different, and I think they're not his strengths. That's not his game. Like, I don't think I think it's just not his game at all to play that way. I think you have to play your team as in get that ball into the box on the floor, and he'll finish it wherever it is. Yeah, so you build your team around him in that sense, or as Sheffield United usually do, is play him up against with Ollie McBurney, a player who can hold the ball in, bring it into play, and he can play off. He's so reminiscent to Jermaine Defoe for me. I think he's the new brand Jermaine Defoe. I don't know if he'll be as good as Jermaine Defoe, but in terms of how he plays and the aspects, I think he's just like Jermaine Defoe.
And what's your opinions on the celebration? Because I personally don't think he celebrates. He runs towards the fans as you would, scoring what you think is a winner in the last minute, but he doesn't do his traditional celebration. He doesn't sprint or anything. You can tell he's trying to hold back a bit, and I think he has shown respect. Yeah. I mean, we've sold him. Once you sold him, like, you can't be mad at Cameron Archer, this just being taken away in the moment. And I think he composed himself well. So
Simon's on wash hands.
He never wants to see him at Villa again.
You might be seeing him next season, Simon, especially if Sheffield United go down. So I don't know how you're going to feel about that then.
Listen, Archer's a blues fan in Simon's eyes now, man. That's it now.
There was none of that. There was none of that. So I know he didn't celebrate properly because I've seen him do that against every other team he scored against. So yeah, I know he was reserving it and keeping it in.
It must be a mad feeling because part of him must be like, "You've sold me. I'm going to prove you wrong." But another part,
of course,
I'm a Villa fan, so
of course,
it must be such a conflicting feeling, like scoring that.
Yeah, because we've just seen our striker celebrate against his former club the other week, and again, he didn't do it. He didn't do it properly. He said he did to one fan. You could quite clearly see he's done it to one fan. But you see how the Brentford fans have been acting up about it. You know what I mean? And we've literally just witnessed it the week before. I'm not going to act like that with Cameron Archer. I don't think he celebrated at all. And I don't think Watkins was in the wrong either the other week.
Nah, I'm still surprised we equalised. I genuinely thought that was going to be Archer's night where he gets the winner against his old club. The fact we equalised, I'm encouraged by it. I really am. Like, I don't think our performance was great. I'm gutted we didn't win and get top of the league, but to still show that we're awake and get the equaliser, and yeah, man.
And these massive positive.
This little point, it helps with our top 4 chance coming the end of the season, man. These points, you might not feel it in the moment, but if you take yourself out of the moment and you look back a bit and look at the bigger picture, we'll take not losing our games. Like, I don't think we've lost now since Forest, is it?
Yeah, Forest.
We haven't lost a game in the league since Forest. So.
Best record over the last 10 games in the league. Shout out to Stato for that. It's a good stat. So yeah, mad. Anyway, bro, I'm gonna go and enjoy a drink. maybe put a bit of music on, chill, relax. Maybe watch something as well.
Put
Before
a bit in
Saturday
that King
gets here.
Cola.
I don't know about that.
How you
I
Seahawks
don't know
getting on?
about that.
I was just looking at your Seahawks then.
Oh, forget NFL tonight, man. Forget the Seahawks.
You just
Not
ignoring
about
it, yeah.
that. It's not about that now.
But the
Don't
Raiders playing
ruin
Christmas
the
Day,
Christmas
which is I'm
spirit.
probably not gonna watch as well. So
Yeah, you're gonna ignore that as well.
yeah,
Not much to
playing the
play on.
Chiefs, so that I'm good.
I hear it. I hear it, bro. It's just one of those seasons for both teams. Simon says, also, what's your take on the Super League? On the Super League? Yeah, you can get out of here, man. Can get out of here, man. If the teams want to go, let them go. I just think they set it up with the three leagues of what is it, Star, Gold, and Blue,
Yeah, the league season
and
one
yet,
is too hard. A league winner can win the league domestically and not be in the main competition of the Super League. Like,
and then a relegated side can still be in the top league.
yeah, it's a gentleman's club. Even though they've
Get out
revised
of
their
here, man.
plans with promotions to relegations, like Barca and Real Madrid will never leave that top league. Like
No,
they're
of
in
course
control
not.
of the refs. They're in control of the refs. Do you know what I mean? Who's appointing these refs? Who's in control? It feels like it's spearheaded by Real Madrid. You don't think they'll have control of the ref? Like, do you think Real Madrid will ever get relegated from that Star League? You know what I mean? So, nah.
When you see it, you see it as a team like Chelsea will still be in the top league after their performance last season and this season as well. It's a joke team. No chance.
Bullshit. Like,
It's
I'm not even
BS.
pro UEFA. I think UEFA are corrupt as well, and the things they do.
Same.
But you need a better plan. You need to. And when you see Atletico Madrid, who's in the league with you, who you thought would be against it, like directly coming out and rejecting it, it's a massive L for them. So let's see how it progresses. But
We'll
for
see.
now, nah, no chances.
To me, it's just shout. It just screams Real Madrid and Barcelona need money. That's
They're
all.
both,
That's all. That's all I'm seeing. Which is insane because the way they distribute the TV rights in La Liga to the other clubs and Real Madrid and Barcelona get the majority. For them to still be going into such huge debt is absolutely insane because they've killed their league. La Liga was thriving, give it 15, 20 years ago when they had good TV rights and the top players, and they never took advantage of that because they didn't distribute the money across like the Premier League did and gave, teams down there to make an actual league that was competitive, even though they did break away and it kind of killed the lower leagues in England, which it did do. They managed to branch and have, okay, these teams that are in this league, we'll split it as even as we possibly can, which made the product better.
If you replace whenever Florentino Perez talks about football with or Real Madrid, it starts making sense. Just like football needs to be saved. No, Real Madrid and Barcelona need to be saved because they can't compete with the Premier League. Football needs money. No, Real Madrid and Barcelona need money. Do you know what I mean? So it's self-interest. I mean, he talks about football just needing like this massive. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced.
Just imagine if they did distribute it correctly back in those times, the names some of the sides that they have in their league would have now, and people would be watching because Spanish sides still do quite decent in European competition, but people are not watching because it's not the product because the squads are just not on equal playing fields. There might be, in terms of like how they're competing and that, but the spend and the amount those clubs have to spend in comparison to the top clubs, the disparity is so massive that it just doesn't look competitive whatsoever. So
that's how I hope Girona can win the league.
That will change it up a bit for sure.
It'll be unlikely, but I really do hope. Could you imagine Leverkusen, Girona, and then our club as well just winning the league in one season? Just a complete madness.
It'd be absolutely insane. I'm all for that. A bit of anarchy, man. A bit of make huge change across all the European leagues. Simon says, thank you. Look forward to the next show. Thanks again, fellas. Have a good one. Cheers, Simon, for joining us again. Merry Christmas. Have a great one. Anyway, bro, I think that's it. Again, cheers for all for joining. Much appreciated. If you just joining after the live stream you're watching now, if you could, again, like the screen, subscribe if you're new around here as well. And also drop a comment in the comment section if you weren't able to drop one on the stream. Let us know your thoughts and we'll respond to it. And just get what you're feeling, how you're feeling about the game, thoughts regarding it, and also a prediction if you'd like to drop that in the comments as well. Be much appreciated. Thanks for joining us, bro, on Christmas Eve. Have a good one tonight. Make sure you get to bed early now. You want to get your presents in the morning, yeah, chat to you later. Merry Christmas all. Have a good one if you're celebrating, and we'll have a match reaction for sure. I don't know if it'll be quite on Boxing Day, it might be the day after, but we'll definitely have one. So we'll be here before the year comes to an end. Up the Villa. Hopefully we get the 3 points on Tuesday.